Hello, everybody. I should be live. Let me check that in just a second. Oh, da, 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 da. But today we are talking about the sacred trap that's holding your business back, and you might not even realize it. So stay tuned here while I finish getting set up, and then we'll go. Da, da, da. Hey, I'm live there, and today we're trying. So there we go. That's cool. That's very cool. So happy year of the wooden snake, everybody. How has your Chinese New Year or your Lunar New Year been going? There we go. Just let me know in the comments. Hey, and there's comments. Alrighty, tidy. So we are off and running. My New Year's, well, it's going good, but it's not really a New Year's celebration for me because it is my stepson's birthday and he is 30 today. So shout out to Stefan for happy birthday. Because, yeah. Because I don't know, 30 was a good year for me. So, what if I told you that the biggest thing holding your business back isn't a lack of strategy, it isn't visibility, and it's not even that tough economy? It's a hidden trap that you might not even realize that you are stuck in. So, what if breaking free from that trap was easier than you ever thought it would be? I mean, who doesn't want that, really? So, I spent the last half hour getting myself a little jazzed up, watching some cat videos, and we are now starting the Fulfilled Spiritpreneur Live. I am Lindsay, founder of Super Secret Powers, where we don't just talk about business strategy, we talk about alignment. Because success isn't just doing more and grinding and hustling and all that kind of stuff. It's about building a business that fits your energy, your mission, and your purpose, and living those authentic dreams of what success means and feels like to you. Because there's always going to be a moving goal, right? Even after you finish your growth phase and get out of that whole misalignment maze that we're going to talk about today, there's still always more things you're going to want and you're going to want to experience. So, as long as we can come back to that beautiful mindset that this is always a moving and evolving experience that we get to choose over and over again, you know, we will really tune into our sense of fulfillment with our work and our service, because I do service-based spiritpreneurs. I work with them, intuitive women, readers, and healers. But yeah, that is what we are all about here. And today we are diving into the misalignment maze that I so lovingly coined here. And it is that sneaky, invisible trap that keeps spiritual entrepreneurs stuck in cycles of undercharging and constant exhaustion. And more importantly, I am going to show you how to recognize that you're in it and how to break free of it. So, grab your coffee, your crystals, your tea, maybe even a journal, whatever keeps you grounded and keeps you moving forward. And we're going to go a little deeper. So, first, let's talk about settling. It's one of those like big major red flags that you are in the misalignment maze. But the thing is, most of us don't really recognize that we are settling. We think that we are doing everything we have to do. Uh-huh. There's that word, have to do. You know, there's so much advice out there in the entrepreneurial world, in the business world. And when you're first beginning and when you're, just getting your first clients and you're thinking like, oh, well, this has to be the way. I have to be realistic about what to expect. Well, think of it this way. Settling is a symptom of being stuck in the misalignment maze, because if you got through that maze, you would actually have the clients you want. You would be on your way to making whatever income you do want, and you're going to have the confidence to know that you are this sovereign being who can make these decisions and hold space for all of these people that you wish to help. And there are plenty of examples of people who have done this, not just because they're so much better than you, but because they found the right help to get through the maze. And that's like half the battle, knowing what advice actually is in alignment with you, your mission, and how you are meant to serve this world with your spiritual abilities. So, this whole thing is not just a pipe dream, it's not wishful thinking. And that's part of where, that settling mindset comes into this. I have a client who had a block against getting all of the details into her sales posts. Like start dates, not just like the choice not to list prices, but like location, like who it's for, exactly what you'll be doing. Like things would just keep falling off of her radar the minute she took her attention away from it and said, oh, but I have to follow this format. I have to follow this formula. What are all the things I absolutely need? And sure, all right, you don't have to have every single detail in every single sales post. But she couldn't even get it together in her head. And that was a problem, because then it was kind of like everything was coming from this place where she was winging it. But when she pulled her energy back together and got clear, not only did she write an incredible sales post, but she made a video too. And that got her so much more traction in her business than she thought could happen based on all of this past false evidence of things not really working out in other posts for other promotions. But that in turn also got her the evidence that she could shift easier and faster than she believed, which gave her more confidence, which allowed her to get more out there, which of course then just accelerates your business. The ripple effect of bringing your energy, your love, and your deeper priorities back to your business is huge. She is now running her business from that deeper place of knowing that she can create anything she wants to with the right time, attention, focus, and priority. And that is alignment. It's not just because it's perfectly formulated to be this instant viral seller. It's because she knows that with the right structure for her, with the right energetic boundaries in selling and putting her offers together, that it's just going to work. And it's going to work so much easier now that she trusts herself. I mean, imagine that. So here are some of the major signs that you are actually just in the misalignment maze, and that it is not really anything to do with you, your value, or your worth. Number one, you are attracting misaligned clients. So you're saying yes to clients who drain you, to people who nickel and dime your services, or who just who you don't just feel aligned with the kind of work that they are ready for. And that can feel a couple different ways. I mean, instead of feeling energized after a session, you could feel depleted. The person can leave you frazzled because it's just so obvious that you're not all on the same page. And eventually, that might even lead to a sense of dread about showing up for your next session or live or anything, because now you feel like you're some sort of fraud. Imposter syndrome, right? So sign two is you're constantly second guessing yourself. You second guess yourself right out of completing your new idea that you are so excited about. You question your prices, your marketing, your offers, wondering if you're doing any of it right, quote unquote, right. And you can see every reason why it shouldn't work, but you've lost sight of all the things you have going for your business and your offers and your position in the market. So number three, you feel like your business is just heavy. Instead of feeling exciting, fulfilling, running your business feels like you're carrying a ton of bricks on your back. And not only is it heavy, but it might even be becoming a source of shame for yourself. That whole imposter syndrome creeping in around the edges, and you can't even see it happening. It's exhausting, it's uninspiring, and it leaves you wondering if you are cut out for this or not. Sign four, you are in the feast and famine cycle. So some months are great, other months crickets, and no matter how much effort you put in, it never seems to create real, lasting momentum. And the emotional roller coaster, yeah, might as well just, lay in bed for a month after that. Putting all of your hopes into something to have it slowly kind of just chipped away or eroded, or um, you slowly just give up on checking your stats or looking at the business bank account, or looking at your sales, because it's like nothing's changed. Whew, I do remember those days. Sign five, your business feels like it is running you. You're constantly reacting, putting out fires, catching this, that mistake, and the other, and things just weren't hooked up the right way the first time. And you're scrambling for the next sale or booking because you have no idea where it's going to come from. It's just like a hope and a prayer. You just have no sense of ease or clarity or flow in your business, mostly because you don't have the systems to support you in what you're doing. But you don't even know what it could be like to slow down and find a deeper, more aligned way to work. Well, still keeping everything that is working. So hard work just tends to seem like the only way things are ever going to be able to work. And that sucks. Because how long can you keep that up? How long until you burn out and you're sick for 2 weeks, maybe longer, and you just don't have the energy to even try and get income? It's not a place that's sustainable. But if any of that sounds familiar, let me know in the comments which one of those you feel is like really gripping you right now in your business. And I want you to know you're not broken. You are just stuck in the misalignment maze. And it's time you stop settling and started finding your way back out again. And that's why I'm here. So the worst part about being in the misalignment maze isn't just the business challenges, right? It affects you emotionally, it affects you energetically, and it can even affect the way you show up in your relationships. So you start losing trust in yourself. You wonder if you're meant for this, if you're really good enough, if your dream is even possible. And that imposter syndrome is creeping in, making you feel like you need validation, like you need to prove yourself, like you are going against your word for not being able to just produce the results you wanted to produce. I mean, what kind of crazy, toxic, unreasonable expectation is that? You waste your energy spinning in circles, trying this strategy, that tactic, shifting gears, constantly hoping that something is just going to click, just going to work. And there's those instant results and that really irrational sense of pressure we're putting on ourselves all over again. And then you start playing small. You start having to pull back on your energy because that question, even if it's not a conscious question, your protector inner self is going to start saying, like, how long can you keep doing this? How much are you expected more to give? So maybe you stop showing up consistently. Maybe you avoid raising your prices ever. Maybe you shy away from even promoting your offers. Maybe you talk yourself out of having higher price packages because no one wants that if you can't even sell something inexpensive. And maybe you've been taking those crickets just a little too literal and a little too personal. When your business isn't aligned, the energy, when your business isn't aligned with the energy, the mission, the dream clients, it's always going to feel like a struggle. Not because you aren't a worthy practitioner, but because you are always fighting against yourself to be able to showcase your value, your beautiful soul, your amazing abilities. But here's the good news. Always have to wrap this back around to good news. Escaping the misalignment maze isn't about working harder. It's about shifting how you navigate from decisions to implementing to showing up. It's about changing priorities and putting what feels right and feels good and feels powerful to you first. Because it can't work if you don't feel like you can sustain it. So let me take a breather here and check some comments. Define comments. That wasn't what I wanted. So it has been a beautiful snowy day here today. Nothing sticking, but it has been so nice and so peaceful. We did have a power outage blip though. Anyway, back to that misalignment maze. So now we're going to talk about how to begin breaking free from that maze. So the first step is always to recognize where misalignment is showing up in your business. And certainly not just to recognize it, but to recognize also that it is not you. This is just something you have to probably make some decisions around. And in order to do that, you probably also need to do a little exercise to see where your self-trust is around any of this. Because it's probably been a while now since you've trusted yourself to make the right decision the first time and stick with it. So before we go on to the next steps, I want you to ask yourself these questions. And this is why I said pull out a journal earlier. So what have I convinced myself is just the way your business is? That might actually be misalignment. And that could be anything from the type of offers you put out there because somebody else made that kind of offer work. It looked easy to sell. It could be even your selling process. Maybe you're not showing up or telling people that you are safe and open to have, like real conversations in your business around what you offer and where people fit in and all that kind of good stuff. I mean, we have to learn to distinguish ourselves from those hard kind of bro marketing sellers, as people call them, so that we build that trust back up, especially in the niche of spiritual entrepreneurship, where we're dealing with people who are sensitive, who may have more social anxieties than, just the mainstream uh, audience kind of market. And so, we have to be in that awareness of how can we build that trust and relationship that people feel like they can talk to me. Another question, where am I choosing comfort over clarity? Where am I resisting change? Again, this can show up in so many ways in your business. To what kind of content you put out because you bought a template and this is how they said to run your content plan. To I don't know. Now I'm just making things up to go with the question. To not offering higher prices because you feel like it might be too much of a stretch at the moment. But maybe it isn't. Maybe it isn't the stretch you think it is because you're relying on your ideas of perfectionism over what it takes to really talk to, talk to and support somebody over a length of time. I mean, it can't all be all tarot or all channeled work or all I'm only ever going to do Reiki for you all of the time. They're coming to you because you're a person. Let me clear that up. You are a person. They are a person. So maybe sink back into that empathic heart of yours and see what might you be actually selling. Not just Reiki, not just a card reading. What are you actually giving them that is much more personal than just a process or a modality? Another question. If my business could feel easier and more in flow, what would it look like? And to follow up with that, what's stopping you from making that shift? And again, some of those common areas where people get so tripped up is in what kind of offers you should really be offering. Which ones actually align with how you want to do things, to what lights you up. And even if it does feel like an offer that somebody else offers, I mean, a course is a course is a course in a way, even if it's a hybrid, there are still a lot of people who do hybrid live stuff with, canned lessons. The live stuff just tends to be more support oriented. Uh, but what is going to make it yours? What is going to make you shine through the work? So, the last thing I want you to consider, to journal about maybe, is what would my most aligned and powerful self stop tolerating in my business today? I mean, number one, just as a business coach, not even just a spiritual business coach, but as a business coach, it is the clients. It is boundaries and the relationships with the clients. It is how you are talking about your thing and what you do and why it's valuable, so that you can start attracting the clients you actually want to attract. I mean, that is like really the first thing that really has to be looked at, because this is where your business and your brand stop being about you. I mean, you want to make sure that it's authentic, it feels you, it feels natural, it's an extension of just who you are, so you're being paid to be you. But now, how you, as an experienced practitioner, how are you creating a bridge for somebody else, for somebody that you love, for somebody you love to work with, for somebody you want in your life, so that they can start having the change, the transformation, the results that they want to have through you? Because people will pay you for the experience of working with you once you show them who you are. Which leads me into step 2, which is always reclaim your power. Your business should feel like an extension of your energy and not something that drains you. You didn't step into this path just to schlep on the hotlines for some quick cash or mold yourself into somebody else's version of success. You didn't. You stepped into this because you recognized, because you became aware of, because you chose to claim your unique medicine and divine connection. And that gift was given to you to create impact. So when you claim that power, and when you stop settling for the scraps of, what's working well enough, or I have to be realistic, everything shifts. Clients come easier, marketing feels more natural, and success starts to flow in a completely different way. And that rebellious streak in you, the one whispering that you are meant for more, it's not lying. Those are your guides. It's time to listen, because it's your highest self calling. And step 3, here is my shameless plug. This is take the first step, right, toward alignment, because it's not waiting until your business is absolutely perfect, or your business plan or your brand plan is absolutely perfect and then launching. Uh, you have to go with where you are and with what you feel in the current moment, because that is like valid. And that is where your relatability comes from your current experiences, based on your past experiences, based on the path that you're choosing to go on. It's all relevant. But this is exactly why I created the Mystik Brand Alignment Audit. So it's a free thing, and it's to help you spot the hidden misalignments in your business so that you can create quick and powerful shifts in order to break free of this whole misalignment maze situation. So it is a free 30-minute session, right? We'll dive into exactly where your brand and energy aren't syncing up and how to get you back into flow. If you want to apply, the link is going to be in the comments in just one little second here. There it is. Show. And that'll take you to the landing page. But after you look at the landing page and you click on the button, it's just going to take you right to the application. So you can just go right ahead and apply. And in 24 to 48 hours, I will certainly get back to you about that, because I am so excited to have these kind of conversations where I get to delve into, what your abilities are and what they mean for you, and the story of even how you discovered or came to accept your abilities, because there's so much power and so much juice and so much magic in having these conversations, and they are so relevant to how you need to start realigning your brand. So I want to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from today's live? Just drop it in the comments and we can continue this conversation. And I want to remind you not to miss the next live next Wednesday at 4:30. So make sure that you're following and signed up for notifications so you do not miss an episode of the Fulfilled Spiritpreneur Live. And want more support? I'm going to drop another link here so that you can see all the ways you can work with me, even if they're the free ones, even if they're just something little to help you get through thinking about your business in a different, more aligned way. So everything on that link, there's the business audit, there's the Mystik Success Society, there's my Align and Amplify path, there's VIP days, there's all sorts of types of help to really tailored to help you move through whatever situation you find yourself in with your business. So go ahead and check that out, and why not apply for that Mystik Brand Audit while you're there? It can't hurt, and it could get you thinking about your road to success in a totally different, aligned, nourishing, easy transaction sort of way. All right. Stay magical, my friends.